be a better day. A day for making new friends, standing ovations, hugging loved ones, and for all those other moments we took for granted. This better tomorrow is more than just a day away. Until then, Junior Achievement is preparing young people by helping them make the connection between education and their dreams, increasing their likelihood of finding career success, starting a business, and navigating economic uncertainty. We are giving young people the gift of hope, and when that better tomorrow finally arrives, so will they.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Jobina Fordson. I am the breaking news and traffic anchor at ABC7 News and will be moderating this afternoon's event. So welcome to this special town hall put on by Junior Achievement in partnership with ABC7 News. Today is all about the students, and this topic we're discussing today is jobs and careers. So we have an incredible panel for you all here today to give you the answers to all of your questions, and we're so excited about all of it. We also want to give a very special thank you to our presenting sponsor, AT&T. Now, it may not always feel like it during the pandemic, but the future is bright, and Junior Achievement has opportunities and pathways to get you to where you want to go. And I want you to remember to enjoy the journey. It's not always about the destination. Sometimes we have to plan our work our plan. It all is just about how we navigate this in these uncertain times, and we're all going to do it together. So some of you may go straight to work. Others may go straight to college. Some may go to trade school. Whatever you decide, know that Junior Achievement of Northern California is here for you to provide resources to help get you there. So the world of work is never going to be the same. We know this. The pandemic has flipped everything upside down for all of us in some way or another. As we've seen the changes over the last years, we know that we are going to have to remain resilient, continue to pivot, and everything else in between. But we have learned to adjust. And the future of work is going to require reskilling. That's a term you may hear a few times as we talk throughout this afternoon. That reskilling is going to help with new job opportunities, and also your current skills may need to be reworked to fit new jobs because they are being created right now. And by acquiring these new skills, you will have access to more job opportunities, and that means, yes, you guessed it, the future is bright. Now, I don't want to hold you up here. I have talked for way too long. I want to take you right to our incredible panel that we have for you today of our experts. They are going to be giving you simple, straightforward strategies to help empower you to strive to a bright and successful tomorrow. So thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you walk away with some valuable resources and also leave here encouraged and inspired. So first up, we are going to introduce here Survi Pierce. Survi, welcome. I got to talk with Survi ahead of our town hall today. She is so lovely And she also has an incredible title here because she is the Senior Regional Vice President at Robert Half and has so much advice to give. And I'm excited for you all to hear from her. So thank you, Serby. Next up, Tanya Deckman. Tanya is the Vice President, Seattle and Portland Branch Manager at CNA Insurance. Tanya, thank you for being here. And I'm looking forward to everything that you have to say as well. And up next, Nelson Velez Martinez. Nelson has some very interesting tidbits about LinkedIn that he'll talk about later on in our program. But Nelson is at Salesforce, actually, and is a senior account executive. So Nelson has a lot of local ties as well to the Bay Area. So thank you, Nelson. We're happy you are here. Terrence Holiday, who's not too far away from I am exactly, actually. So that's an interesting tidbit. But Terrence Holiday is a work-based learning liaison at Oakland Unified School District. Terrence, thank you for being here. And Jaime J. De La Cruz is a human resources director, midstream operations at Marathon Petroleum Company. Jaime, thank you so much. We also have students that are here live with us. And I would like for Marvin Rodriguez Aguilar to introduce himself. Hi, Marvin.
Hi, my name is Marvin. I am a student at Sunnyside. I am a senior. Obviously, so I'm about to turn, 18, about to become an adult and look forward in my life. But I would just like to say, thank you for having me at this Junior Achievement Town Hall meeting. I know that there's a lot of people watching. I have a question for Melissa. At large companies such as AT&T, what are the different stages of the application process?
Okay, so Marvin, we're actually going to hold on that real quick because I just want everyone to meet you real quick. We are going to get to your question, but I do want to bring in Melissa Corwin here because she is our keynote speaker today. So we will come back to Marvin. Melissa is the Vice President of Employee Experience at AT&T. She leads talent acquisition, college recruitment, organizational development, and transformation efforts across AT&T. So thank you so much, Melissa, for being here and welcome.
Yeah, great to be here. And Marvin, look forward to answering your question. So thanks, Javina. And I have the opportunity just to share a few words of wisdom with you guys and really excited to share that. In 1997, Mary Schmitz with the Chicago Tribune wrote a column on living a life without regret. And I graduated college in 1998. And then the summer following that, Buzz Luhrmann dispensed these life tips in a song to graduates entitled Everybody's Free to Wear Sunscreen. And as a student of the 90s, these lyrics really resonate with me. And I see them in some lessons that I learned along my way in my journey that I want to share with you. So I grew up in a small town in mid-Missouri that had about 153 people. My sophomore year in high school, my dad got a new job and we moved to Kansas City, where I landed in a big school with a graduating class of over 600. And obviously, as you can expect, this was worrisome for me. And if I could go back to talk to my younger self, I would tell myself to channel that worry into action. I've found that taking action relieves the anxiety versus sitting in a stagnant state of worry. Or as the song says, don't worry about the future, or know that worrying is as effective as trying to solve an algebra equation by chewing bubble gum. Now, then I entered college with the illustrious major of undecided. And I used that first year to explore, and then realized what I wanted and focused. Now, at the time when I realized what I wanted, that wasn't necessarily a career. I was still undecided on that. But I knew that I was on a quest to excel in school. And if I could do that, that would well position me for wherever I wanted to go. Now, I suspect that many of you here don't know what you want to be when you grow up. And that includes many of us serving as panelists. To quote Mary and Baz, I would say, don't feel guilty if you don't know what you want to do with your life. The most interesting people I know at 22 didn't know what they wanted to do with their life, and the most interesting 40-year-olds I know still don't. Now, moving into my early career, I looked around and wanted more and often wished for the success or things of others. Now, my guidance to you and my key lesson learned is avoid comparison. It is a path to disappointment. You can be great, but you will always find someone who appears to have it easier or better. Now, avoid that, because then you lead to frustration, and don't seek out frustration. Your path is uniquely yours, and you're only competing with your best self. And that race is long. Now, as I moved into leadership roles, I learned that sometimes great ideas and hard work don't win the day, while other times I benefited from perfect timing and circumstance. Be humble and resilient. Don't congratulate yourself too much or berate yourself either. Your choices are half chance, and so are everybody else's. Now, landing in today, I would encourage you to be curious and challenging, to question why, to seek a better way, and as you lead, change, welcome feedback. The person you need closest to you is the one who will challenge you, who will share constructive and candid feedback, and give you advice on how to improve. When someone truly cares enough to share what's getting in your way of success, you've got a great advisor. Keep those advisors close. I'll end with what I think is the most important advice from Marion Baz, which is do one thing every day that scares you. I suspect that a common theme you'll hear from panelists today is the importance of continuous learning. To grow, you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Go into uncomfortable space and try things that you're worried you might not be successful at, but really want to do. So I'd encourage you to apply to that stretch college, enroll in that honors class, try out for the team, audition for the part. Bottom line, raise your hand, and you'll learn from it, regardless of the outcome. Now, speaking of learning, I'm confident that there's lots to learn from one another today. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Javina.
Melissa, and that is really good advice, I think, for anyone at any point in their life, not just our middle and high schoolers today. So thank you. I do have a programming note I want to make for our students that are watching via Zoom. So if you have any questions, please use the Q&A. We have career professionals ready to answer your questions. Just click the Q&A button, type in your question, and someone will be there to answer you. Now, speaking of questions, we asked students what they wanted to know about jobs and careers, and we have some incredible questions coming in now, and I would like to start with Jelani.
As a high school student out there, and many others like me, one thing we really struggle with is how to put our personality on paper and stand out in the application process. Do you have any tips on how to put our personality out there and showcase who we truly are on paper as an applicant?
Ooh, very great question. And we are going to start with Serbi on this.
Great. Thank you so much, Jobina. And Jelani, such a great question. I, for a living, actually look at resumes in the career path that I chose accidentally. And so to Melissa's point, sometimes you have to take a risk. I love what I do. And so what I would say is put what you do and what you love on paper. Some of the resumes and applications that stand out to me are the ones that actually show that this person is interested in drama. Somebody climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. If you're an enthusiast of any type, whether that be an artist, it doesn't have to be related to your career. It can be related to who you are. And that's actually really special when I'm looking at prospective candidates, even for internal jobs with my organization, Robert Half. So that's what I would share with you.
I love that answer. Just incorporate a little bit of everything, the job, yourself, and get a feel for the person. I love that. Thank you, Serbi. Now we have Marvin here live. He got ahead of the game there asking the question, but I'm glad that you're enthusiastic about this, Marvin. So that was perfect. Please continue with your question.
Yeah, I would like to direct this to Melissa again. But at large companies like AT&T, which is where you work at, what are the different stages of the application process? I imagine it being lengthy since you're in a big company.
Yeah, a great question, Marvin, and thanks for the opportunity to answer it. I think you'll find when you go to companies, you'll look at their processes and they'll vary across. So I'd encourage you as you land on their job sites to review it because it will vary. And even within AT&T, it varies based on position. But I'll give you a sample of what you could expect. In a lot of our positions, not only will you complete an application, but you'll also have the opportunity to participate in what we call a realistic job preview. So that's an opportunity for us to share what you can expect as a day in the life in a role in our company. And then following that, have the opportunity to go through a virtual job tryout. So think about if, for example, you were interested in a call center position or in a sales position in our retail environment, or maybe even a sales position in our executive B2B area. You would go through a realistic job preview and tryout where you'd be asked to do some of the functions that are included in that job and give real-time responses to how you would handle that situation. So how would you handle a frustrated customer, for example, and how would you resolve their concern? Following that, you'll have the opportunity to participate in a recorded interview. Just like these Zoom sessions, you'd be asked a series of questions and prompts, and then you would record your response. And then that goes to the recruiter to take a look at. And then ultimately, with a hiring manager, you'd conduct a live interview where they'd have the opportunity to share what you could expect in the job, and you'd have a chance to ask your questions, and they'd ask about your experience and how you handled specific situations. And then all that goes well, you land in the interview and the offer process.
All right, thank you.
Intense, huh, Marvin? Just a little bit.
Yeah, it was a lot. That's what I expected.
But the good kind of intense, because look at where Melissa is now. So it was awesome. Thank you so much, Melissa. Our next question is going to be coming from Risha. She is a high schooler in the Bay Area.
How do I know if a college or job is right for me?
Ooh, Terrence, I'm sure you regularly get this question and have dealt with it in so many different ways. So what do you think?
Yes, Risha, to know if a job or if a company is right for you, first one must know themselves. So find out what you like. Are you an introvert or are you an extrovert? Do you like working with your hands or do you like working by yourself on projects, on computers? So find out what it is that your passion is, what makes you happy. And if you don't know that, if you're still figuring that out, that's okay. But you know what things you don't like, and I would say maybe stay away from those things. There are resources. One resource is California Colleges, and that's cacareerzone.org, and that's basically a career assessment. And they'll ask you a series of questions about your personality and your characteristics, and it'll give you some results. And those results you can use to say, okay, I'm better in retail, or I'm better in a IT department or something like that. But I would say first, follow your heart. If you love children, then think about going into early childhood education. If you love music, then maybe it's music you want to get into.
So, Terrence, I have a quick follow up to that because, in some ways, I think the careers have changed. I was just seeing a report recently that elementary school students surveyed wanted to be influencers. Are you hearing that there are, in some cases, that the careers that once were the more exciting options have fallen down on the list there a little bit?
That is something to note, and like the theme of this, the future is bright, and the future is with you all. So, and when I say you all, your generation, you all are cultivating and molding this future that is coming. So, if you know that you want to be a Snapchat technician or code for Roblox or things that are coming in the future, we know electric vehicles are coming up. We know that the future, that there's so much happening in the future, and I think young people have their hand on that pulse to know what's happening and to be abreast of that. So definitely.
Absolutely. They know it already. So they're just already ahead of the game, I think. Thank you, Terrence. So I also want to make a note here when we talk about setting ourselves apart from others, we need to find a way to display our achievements. So I know JA has just launched their digital badge, which are great talking points in interviews when pursuing your career pathway. They also benefit you personally by developing your skills and professionally as they promote your commitment to the future. So make sure to check that out. And next up, I believe we have Sydney.
Thank you to JA for having me. I'm excited to be here. My name is Sydney and I'm a freshman in high school. My question is, what is the value of having a digital badge? Where can I display them and how can I use them to get a job? Also, is it the same as a certification?
Ooh, very good question, Sydney. And I would love for Nelson, if you can delve in on this one for us.
Absolutely. Excellent question, Sydney. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to answer it. Digital badge is very important today. To give you an idea, right now you can go to the Junior Achievement website and you can find a series of trainings where you will be able to get a digital badge. And you can use it as part of your resume. Or today you even have LinkedIn, for example, where you can show your experience that you always are committed to give the extra mile. And that's the reason you embark in the journey of having those digital badges. To give you an idea, I work for Salesforce today. And when I was in the middle of the interview process, I wanted to learn more about the company and I accessed their digital badge center, which is Trailhead. And I started doing all the trainings and getting certified online. By the time I got the interview, my hiring manager and my team were amazed that I had more certification, more badges than even them that are already working in the company. So that gave me an edge. That said, not all badges are going to be a certification. So you need to make sure that you understand where does that lead you, because normally they have a roadmap. But trust me, it's going to be so worth it if you embark in that journey for your own future.
Nelson, great explanation. Thank you so much. And thank you, Sydney. I know I'm going to get back to you in a couple more minutes for another question. Thank you both. And I want to turn now to a question from Rashid.
The question I had is, what can I be doing now to make myself desirable to a future employer when I graduate from college?
Hey, this is a great question. And you've heard me say grades are important, no substitute for academic performance. So hit the books, get good grades. Yes, they are very important to employers. But I would say something else is important too. Show that you're well-rounded, right? And so what I mean there is getting good grades is important, but so too is showing that, hey, you're active on campus in other ways, right? You're part of student organizations, perhaps in a leadership role in various student organizations. You're involved in extracurricular activities, you know, whether it's, hey, maybe it's athletics, maybe it's in the band, maybe it's in theater, whatever the case is. If you can show that you're well-rounded, and there's many pieces to you, I think that bodes well for you. The other thing that always helps is to show in your resume and when you're interviewing that you've got that grit and you've got that determination, you've got that perseverance, right? So, you know, if you've worked in high school or if you have a job in college, you know, I would put that in there. You know, I've talked to students who said, you know, I worked at a grocery store and I don't know if I really want to put that in a resume that's going, you know, when I'm trying to get my first job out of college. I said, I would absolutely talk about that. You know, it's important because it shows, again, that you're willing to do what it takes to be successful. And so all of that is important. So yeah, good grades are very important, but also show that you're well-rounded, and tell the complete story about you. And I think that's the best way to impress companies when they come to recruit you. Thank you.
Jaime, thank you so much. Very great advice on that multifaceted approach and creating that well-rounded student on paper, because we know that it's already there. I want to check back in with Sydney now, who has a question for Melissa.
What are some things to do that make you more competitive? What separates the best candidate from the competition?
Yeah, Great question, Sydney. And I think a perfect question to follow up on some of the guidance Jaime that just shared. For early career candidates, my advice to you would be gain experience, whether that's employment in school or school leadership positions or extracurricular activities. It demonstrates that you can successfully manage multiple priorities. And I'd also say it helps you a lot in the interview process, where you'll be able to call upon specific examples of where you've demonstrated leadership, how you prioritized decisions or choices, or resolved conflict, or what you've learned from failure. The other thing I'd encourage you to do is get engaged and highlight any project-based learning that you have. So whether that's robotics competitions or hackathons, application of learning is really critical. So pull that forward and share it with any prospective employer or any school on your application. And then if you're looking for internships later on, I'd also bring forward your relevant coursework. So what coursework have you already completed that's related to the internship you're seeking or the role you're looking for? And also be sure to highlight those skills that you have that are self-taught. So if you've taught yourself to build your own computer or taught yourself how to code, share that. All that's really important and shows that you've got, ambition and resilience and that continued focus on continuous learning.
Beautiful answer. Melissa, thank you so much. Sydney, you're killing it with the questions also, okay? This has been amazing so far. Thank you both. I want to check in now with Sebastian for a question.
What are some top qualities of someone you would hire?
Great question. When I think about the top qualities of someone that I would hire, it really just comes down to a few things. And because I hire at all experience levels, whether you're interning or looking for your first job out of college, or you're right in the middle of your career, I look for a few different qualities, that I can draw based on your experiences, regardless of if they're limited or not, right? So firstly, I look for a person's ability to commit, really showing that you can be committed to something all the way through from start to finish, whatever that is, whether it's a summer internship or a project you had with a team at school, staying committed and fulfilling your obligations are the backbone of a strong employee and something I seek out in hiring for my team. Secondly, the ability to come and work hard. We can teach you almost any of the hard skills or technical skills you'll need to be proficient at any job, but showing up every single day, ready to put in the hard work and do your best job, that is something that you can bring to the table without any experience or technical skill sets. And it can really set you apart and help you find success.
Thank you, Tanya. So while she's talking about skill sets and success, that really feeds into our next question from Samantha here.
When should I start planning my career, and what if it's not the right choice?
Okay, so Serbi, what do you think? Because even when people are, say, 5, 10, sometimes even 15 years into their careers, they have that same thought, oh no, was this not the right choice? What are your words for her, Samantha?
Such a great question, Samantha. And what I would share with you is you can start planning your career anytime in your life. Personal story for me is I started planning that I was going to go to med school and be a doctor very early on in life, when I was in grade school, actually. And then when I had the opportunity to intern at a hospital in my first year of college, I realized that I did not like it. I didn't like anything about it. And even the coursework I was taking wasn't really speaking to me. So I actually switched majors completely. And now I don't do anything that has to do with medicine, but I love what I do. And I'm really successful. So it's never too late to make a change. What I would say, though, is to follow your instincts and follow your passion. Don't do what you think you have to do. Do what speaks to you. And then when you find that, you will excel in what you do. Apply yourself to your fullest potential and be excited about the opportunity to do that every single day. 19 years in my career with Robert Half, I love what I do every single day, even 19 years in. So I hope that helps.
It does help, Serbi, yes. And to talk with someone that really loves what they do, because how often do we meet people that say, it's okay. It's true. It's true. Thank you, Serby. And this next question from Miles is very interesting, and I would love for all of our panelists to probably chime in on this one.
My question is, does a candidate need to have all the skills listed in a job application to apply for that job?
Great question, Miles. Terrence, what do you think?
Excellent question, Miles. The answer is no. And I'm going to elaborate on that. Most of the time when you see a job description, they are just listing what the most qualified candidate would be able to bring to the table. Now, you may be able to bring some skills that are not listed there. And once you interview, I would say apply. Always apply. Never let little words on a sheet of paper stop you from pursuing something that you want. Go ahead and apply, get into that interview. And when you interview, let them know that you are willing to grow into the space or grow into those skills that you may not have that are listed in that job description. However, I believe if you are the right candidate for the job, whether you have those skills or not, they will feel it, they will see it, and you will know also. So.
Terrence, thank you. Are we able to check in with all of our panelists here? Because I want to see a show of hands on the screen here of how many panelists have applied for a job and did not have all of the requirements. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. 2 hands, yes. Okay, second question here. How many panelists applied for that job and got it without all the requirements? There we go. See, so you never know. You just have to try. Thank you. And look at how successful our panel is, I might add. So, hey, I think they're on to something. Now let's check in with Leah for our next question.
It looks like jobs are changing over time. How can I choose a career pathway that will be relevant in the future?
And there have been lots of changes just over this last year during the pandemic. Nelson, your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Something that is constant is definitely the change. Everything is going to be changing always. And right now, one of the things that you can do the most is to make sure that you understand what makes you unique, what makes you a good candidate for that role. And something that you can do is make sure you do your due diligence, understand what is the role about, and talk what experience you have that person that is interviewing is gonna be can relate with you. The interviewer is always going to be looking for resilience, for a person that is driven, for a person that is coachable, and you can show, for example, what you have done in the past with good examples and what you learned from that experience, or what something that very difficult that you face in your life and how you solve that situation. An example for me, when I was very young and I joined Junior Achievement back in high school, I was a programmer. I love to be behind a computer, and then I learned the world of business. And I soon understood that even though I love to be technical, I love to develop code, it was my calling to be in front of people, helping people and do business. So I hope that helped.
That was helpful, Nelson. Thank you so much. Now let's check in with Ashani here for our next question.
With knowing the importance of networking, how can I start building my network now in fields that I'm interested in?
Great question about building your network around your interests early. And knowing your interests is a great place to start. And don't worry, it doesn't have to be highly specific, but it could be broad as well. Use the internet and social media tools to follow those interests, find the associations, the business groups, the online groups committed to education and information sharing to help you really stay engaged with that community and stay up to date on information. You could use sites like LinkedIn. There's a lot of information on there. I personally like to set Google alerts to get up-to-date information. It's a quick ping to your inbox to read recent articles and stay up to date on the latest in that field. And it's really great for when you do meet someone in that field and you'll have topical information to share and discuss. Then most importantly, you just have to put yourself out there, and it's uncomfortable sometimes, but it's critical. engage in the group events or forums, whether it's in person or online, join up, and then of course, when you're there, introduce yourself. That's how you meet people and form those first few connections in your network.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Great advice there. And you notice she mentioned LinkedIn. I actually interviewed LinkedIn a couple weeks ago, and they talked about a new addition to the platform that is a green badge that you can place on your photo that says open to work. And it allows hiring managers and recruiters to know that you are open to work opportunities. And they ran some data and actually found that you are twice as likely to be discovered on the platform when you have that badge. So there are loads of opportunities on that platform and others to get yourself out there and network. And now we have a special message from Spencer at LinkedIn.
Wow. Congratulations to all the students who are attending this Junior Achievement Town Hall. The work environment has changed drastically over the past year, but it's an exciting time as we adapt and find more efficient ways to stay connected. I think it's going to be a better world because of students like you who are the future leaders bringing new and exciting ideas to the workplace. I work for LinkedIn, and our mission is to make the world's professionals more productive and successful. If you don't already have a LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn is a great way to build your professional network and establish your brand. Your brand is really your reputation and the perception that others have of you. And it's important that you're proactive in defining your brand to help get to where you want to be in the future. Your LinkedIn profile serves as your public-facing resume and allows you to connect with other students, mentors, and professionals as your professional network grows. Now more than ever, building your network is extremely important as you progress through school and think about entering the workplace or even going off to university. I hope that you enjoyed today's town hall, and I look forward to meeting everybody at the next Junior Achievement event. Thank you.
And thank you, Spencer. We want to check back in with Marvin, who is live for us with another question. Hi, Marvin.
Yeah, I would like to direct this question for Terrence. I know you're from Oakland, and I would just like to ask, what inspired you to become a learning coordinator, and what did you do to get there?
Wow, thank you, Marvin. That's a really, it means a lot. This question means a lot to me. It's personal. What inspired me to become a work-based learning liaison is I had no idea. I had no idea that I was going to be here. My dream was to grow up and be a music producer. I love music. And just kind of speaking to everyone that's been on this panel is that the thing is that you do not stop and always be open to opportunities that are along your journey. So as long as you're moving forward, opportunities are going to present themselves and you're going to take advantage of those opportunities. So growing up, I was the one out of all my friends who was bringing back opportunities for everyone else. Like, this will be a good job for you. This will be a good internship for you. This would be a good fit for you. And I was always like the plug of the liaison, trying to get people, connect people and make everyone's situation better. And so, I went from working in the music industry to teaching music business in schools. From there, just kind of evolved, and I worked with the district to help develop the position of a work-based learning liaison. So if there isn't something that exists that fits your passion and your mold, it can be created if you talk to the right people. So I talked to someone in the district. We piloted this one position and ended up being in all of the high schools in Oakland. And I'm so happy. I really love the job. I really love connecting young people and helping them develop the tools to see them thrive. And I use those transferable skills in my businesses as well. And hopefully I answered your question. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, completely.
Great. Awesome.
I thought so too. Terrence, thank you. And Marvin, that was a really good question. And I'm curious if any of the other panelists have something that they would like to jump in and share about that. Either something that's just a part of your journey that really helped you today in your job, because sometimes we think as students, oh, when am I going to use this? And then Serby, I see you smiling there. So I'll start with you. Is there something that was a part of your journey that is very much playing out today in your professional life?
Yeah, I would say again, I thought I wanted to work in a doctor's office, right? And help patients. And I ended up getting into a job where I help people still. I help people find work. And I love talking to people. I love interacting with people. And I didn't tap into that side of myself early on. That came after I realized that that was something I was passionate about. So, again, it goes back to listening to your instincts and knowing what you love and what you're passionate about.
Serby, thank you. And I know I'm throwing everyone on the spot here because this was not a prepped question, but Melissa, I see you over there cheesing too. I think you got something for us.
Yeah, I would love to build on what Serby just shared, because I think while you need to be open to pursue your passion, I'd also trust those that are really close to you that make recommendations. I suspect many of us on the panel have benefited from an advisor at some point who said, I think you'll be really good at, or you'd really enjoy, or you should try X. And I've benefited from taking on many roles in the company where when the advisor first came to me, I said, I don't know that I can do that. I don't know anything about learning strategy, or I've, never been in that area of the company before. I've never handled mergers and acquisitions. And it's been trusting others who said, yeah, but you've got the core, and trusting yourself to know that you can learn things that you don't know how to do today. So I'd invite everyone to take risks, go into that uncomfortable space, and trust those key advisors around you.
Yes, and as Melissa stated earlier, you never stop learning either. You learn something every single day. Tanya, what do you think?
Yeah, thanks so much. For me, I was about midway through my career in insurance as an underwriter, which is someone who, analyzes economic data to make decisions, and then, presents that to an agent or broker who sells it to somebody else. And I found myself in the analytical part of the day, very capable of that part of the job. But then when I would get out talking to my agents and my brokers, forming relationships, I was excited, energized, really, coming away from those meetings feeling like I would rule the world. And I kind of sat back and looked at, my day to day and thought, what if I did a job that was just this part? What if I, moved into like a marketing role where I could speak to people all the time? Really focusing on my strengths, the things that gave me energy. And I think that's something to take note of as you work through your career is, what part of my day is just the part of the day I slog through? What's the part of my day that, really gives me energy, really gets me excited, and try to make sure your job, pushes into something where you're happy all day. Because when you're excited and you're doing something you love, it doesn't feel like work.
Oh, Tanya, yes. I'm so glad you mentioned the portion about how you feel. Sometimes we don't talk about feelings enough at work. And are you enjoying this? Are you excited? Do you feel stressed? That's a portion of it as well. There's a good amount of stress, but then there is such thing as too much stress. Finding that part that makes you feel good. I love that. Thank you. And before we move to our next question, I did want to check in with Nelson on this too. Nelson, anything that happened early on, maybe in school, working up to your career that you are seeing play out now as well?
Absolutely. I gotta be honest with you. I can relate a lot with Melissa's speech on dare to be uncomfortable. As a former athlete, we call it improve your threshold, improve your tolerance. And that can translate so much to business, to a career. If you show the people that you're working with that you are able always to give the extra mile, to take that extra project, and give them examples on how you've done that in the past. Even with sports, what matters is you want to show your character. And when you do that, they will understand that you have what it takes for you to give that extra mile and bring the results.
Perfect. Nelson, thank you. I love that advice from all of you all. I just wanted to hear a little bit of your story. So thank you. And we're going to transition now to our last question from Tanaya.
Once I land my first job out of college, how can I demonstrate my aspirations for achievement?
That's a great question. Thanks for asking. And two things come to mind. The first is, and you've heard me say this before, but be good at your job. Put the time in, put the work in, put the preparation in. Show the leaders that you're good at your job, and they will automatically be thinking about you for career advancement. But the second thing I would suggest is learn or find ways to provide value outside of your current job. What you're going to find is when you join a company, there's going to be all kinds of extra committees and teams that you can join and these are important to the company. These are business teams, business committees, and they're outside of your specific area of work, right? So for example, there might be a diversity team. Consider joining that team. There might be a health and safety team. Join that team. What that does is it shows your leaders that you're willing to kind of expand outside your comfort zone, one. Number two, you're willing to take on some additional work. It shows you're going to collaborate across, different organizations, perhaps. There's probably going to be opportunities for you to have some leadership experience, and all of that is good. So if you can do that, I think that's a good sign to your leaders that, hey, you're looking to develop further, and again, looking to take on some extra work and help the team out in a different way than you do each and every day. Thanks.
Thank you, Jaime. Thank you all so much. All of our panelists, truly just valuable information, encouraging information, and I hope you all watching right now are feeling inspired. So the fact that you are here today means that you are at least starting to think about your career. And I encourage you to stay close to Junior Achievement of Northern California, because we have so much to offer to help on that journey as you continue through school and then eventually your career. And there are so many resources available to allow you to learn and grow. So we are going to transition now to a video to talk more about skills.
The world of work will never be the same. From the moment every job, in every industry, changed almost overnight, it quickly showed us just how critical, how essential skills are to sustainable employment. It has proven how skills can help us endure, evolve, and even thrive in a crisis. And the world of work will never be the same. We learned that the human spirit can rise to any occasion, that it is resilient, that it will persevere, that it can adapt faster and farther than we ever imagined. We saw that flexibility and productivity can exist together, and that work-from-home models can actually work. And the world of work will never be the same. It has helped focus a bright light on racial injustice that will forever glow brighter, and helped create a platform for women so they can rise higher. It's in this time we learn to have hope that the future is not just another place and time, but a new world of opportunity, choice, and equity. It's true, the world of work will never be the same. We believe it will be better.
Oh, so many feelings watching that video. I do believe that it will be better. But yes, the pandemic has turned our world of work upside down. I can tell you personally, I anchor the news from home in this room right behind me. Everything will be different, but we will come out of this stronger. So I'd love to see that. And we want to move over now to our closing keynote speaker. We have Becky Frankowitz, president at Manpower Group.
Hello, I am delighted to join the JA Jobs and Careers Town Hall today. JA is very close to my heart. I am a national board member, and I am passionate about helping young people prepare for their future careers. I also have 3 daughters that are in this stage right now trying to decide what they should study, what should they want to do in the future. So close to my heart for many reasons. I was struck by many of the questions that you all submitted and your concerns over the future of work, particularly the fact that is there a deadline in figuring out what you want to do for a living? And if I choose with jobs changing all the time, does that mean that I can't change again? And how do I stay relevant? And I'm here to tell you there is hope, there is promise on the horizon, because the beauty of today's job market is you do get to define yourself over and over and over again. And I'm going to share a bit more about that. In my line of work, people ask me frequently, what career advice would you give your younger self? Or what do you tell your daughters? And so instead of giving you career advice, I thought what I would do is give you 5 things to think about, themes that really came out of the Manpower Group film Better that you just saw. So here are my top 5 things to consider at this stage in your life. First, the world of work will never be the same. We have seen the largest change in the workforce in the past 12 months that we've seen in the last 70 years. So our parents, many of our parents have never seen change that we're going through at this phase. And you're entering a world of work that will be different. And in many ways, it will be better. The changes are for the better. It'll be more flexible, more skilled, and more well-being centered than ever before. So be ready for change as the only constant, and change doesn't have to be a negative. It doesn't have to fill you with anxiety. Have change fill you with confidence, because you all have grown up already in a world full of constant change, particularly around technology. You've already demonstrated your adaptability. So embrace that as you think about your future careers. That's number one. Second is skills will help us endure. Our appetite to learn, our curiosity, collaboration, these are all skills that will help you stay relevant. So don't worry about committing to one thing or tying yourself too closely to one discipline or career track. Commit to continuous learning. Commit to curiosity. Foster your natural agility and adaptability. Have a beginner's mindset, always looking for something new to learn, and then be able to apply that in different circumstances. Because the future will not be defined by performance. It will be defined by potential. And potential truly comes from curiosity, the ability to learn, apply what you've learned, and adapt to future circumstances. You know, I tell people often, I'm on my fourth career, fourth. And while I didn't grow up in the world of work that you all are facing, what I've learned is that skills transfer. Skills are what have helped me transfer career to career, you know, function to function, business to business. And things that I know how to do apply to multiple situations versus to one title, one job, or one field. That's number two. Number three, the human spirit can rise to any occasion. I have been in awe of the resilience of the human spirit as we've navigated this crisis. Soft skills have been in the center of helping us navigate. They matter more than ever to employers. Resilience, adaptability, collaboration, things most of you probably practice every day and definitely over the last few months. That's what employers are looking for. How do we bring you into a circumstance and you adapt that circumstance and let the human spirit rise and evolve and learn and make bigger impact based on our soft skills? So these soft skills will help you stay relevant and employable for the future. Number four, the future is a new world of opportunity, choice, and equity. There is no such thing as men's work or women's work. While the participation of women in work and their representation in more senior roles is growing, we continue to see more women attracted to communication, marketing, HR, and more men in STEM-related fields. Careers have no gender. Skills have no gender. There is no role or skill that can be defined or a career path defined by demographics like age or gender. That's an exciting part of the world that all of you get to be part of. Jobs have no gender. Skills have no gender. You can do anything that you choose to do and how you apply yourself. So widen your horizons and don't be afraid to step into paths that may seem out of reach. You might just surprise yourself. And then number five, the future will be better. I know that because of you. Because you all chose to be here today to understand, how can I stay relevant? How can I be part to contribute and make an impact on the world around us? So the future will be better because of you. When I get to speak to audiences like this, it's my favorite part of my job, because you are the future of work. You are the future of what the rest of us will live in around the world of work. And I know that it's in good hands. Thank you for having me. Thank you for investing in yourself. And I wish you the absolute best, and I'll be standing in the sidelines watching your impact.
Becky, thank you so much for those words of inspiration. And you notice she talked about transferable skills. We're seeing a theme here, definitely. Now, I have a couple of notes for our viewers right now. I don't want you all to forget about taking the survey. So we do have a slide available to display a QR code for you all, because you will be entered to win a pair of AirPods. There it is right there. So make sure to scan it, and somebody is going to be a lucky winner. All right, now I do want to also let you know that Junior Achievement has Job Shadows and Career Speaker Series both are valuable resources for getting information on different companies and learning about different career paths and other professionals. And you can find them on the website, and they also happen live. So they're really cool to hear from people. And JA My Way is designed to help teens find careers that are best for them, learn about saving and budgeting, and find out how you can start a business. And I actually interviewed two JA students that started a business not too long ago, and I was so impressed with their invention. It helps you stay away from germs. Very impressive ladies at Monte Vista High School. But also JA Access My Future is another great resource for career planning. And there are free resources, and they can all be found on JA's website. Now, lots of this would not be possible today without Christine Burr. She is the president and CEO of Junior Achievement of Northern California, and I want to send it to her.
I am so glad you were able to participate in today's Junior Achievement Town Hall on jobs and careers. Would have done almost anything when I was your age to have access to the experts who hire in so many industries. I had no idea how many very different jobs were even out there, let alone what they pay and whether or not they require a college degree. It's so incredible to have experts sharing with you all what the future of work will look like from their perspective and the importance of being flexible, adding skills to your resumes and LinkedIn profiles, and finding mentors who can help you get to that next step in your pursuit of your first job or your last job. At Junior Achievement, this is what we do. We provide access to corporate volunteers who are the authorities in their field to teach you all about the world of work. This broadcast was recorded and will be available on our website for you to watch again and again. Show it to your parents. Give them the opportunity to share their stories and advice with you as well. Did you know Junior Achievement gives you the opportunity to earn badges? By participating in this town hall, you are on your way to earning a badge in career readiness. Just visit our website at janorcal.org to learn more and enroll in the rest of our virtual learning experiences this spring. We have so many free resources available for everyone to access thanks to our amazing corporate sponsors. Speaking of, thank you so much to our presenting sponsor, AT&T, for making today possible. Thank you also to Robert Half, CNA, Marathon, Kaiser, and Manpower for your sponsorship and partnership. And of course, thank you, Jobina Fortson with ABC7 News. As always, you've done a fantastic job moderating today's discussion. Thank you to our panel for sharing your expertise and leadership with our students. The future for our JA students is bright, and we are honored to be working with you all to fulfill our mission of inspiring and preparing young people to succeed in a global economy. Now, please pull out your phone and hover over the QR code to access the survey. Your feedback is very important to us, and because you attended today, if you fill out our survey, you will be automatically entered in our drawing to win a pair of Apple AirPods. One winner will be chosen right after this event, so fill out the survey. Also, the first 100 students who registered and attended today will receive a Starbucks gift card in your email inbox. Thank you so much for attending.
And thank you so much, Christine, for your leadership as we continue to progress in this interesting time. But we're doing it together at JA. Now, I want to bring back our panel very quickly for just some quick 20-second closing remarks from each of you that you would like to leave the students with. And Melissa, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I would echo the theme, which is future is bright, and encourage everyone, go out there and learn. Put yourself in uncomfortable space.
Awesome. Serby.
I echo that as well. Actually, when I interview prospective applicants, I always ask them, are you okay being uncomfortable in any given day? It's one of my key questions because that's how you expand who you are.
Wonderful. Terrence, your thoughts?
Wow. Everything that you need is within you. Like go for it and always have that gumption, have that tenacity. The world is yours. The future is bright. I want to see you win. We all want to see you win. You have nothing but love and support. So go for it.
Nelson.
I will say you are not alone. you can ask for help. People will be more than happy to help you if you ask, because there's not that many students that go out and ask you for help. So add people in LinkedIn, start with your close network, also known as family. Expand from there, keep adding, and whenever you apply for the first job, go ahead and leverage all those connections. And it all depends on the degree of separation. At some point in time, you're gonna find somebody that works in that place that you want to join.
Yes, thank you, Nelson. And last but not least, Tanya here.
Yeah, thank you so much for letting me be part of this panel today. I'm looking forward to seeing all you JAers in the workforce soon. Reach out if you need anything. But I would want to leave you with just continue to work hard. No one can outwork you if you set your mind to it. Be really eager to learn. Like I've said before, you never know what you don't know, and people will be willing to teach you along the way. So take that advice, foster it, and let yourself grow and develop. But good luck, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
I think we will. Thank you so much to our panelists. You all have been incredible all afternoon. We really appreciate that invaluable advice. And I want to thank you, students, teachers, and anyone else that is tuning in right now. Remember that Junior Achievement of Northern California is here for you to help guide, provide resources, or maybe just someone to talk to. So don't forget that you can always come here whenever you need help, because I know it's been said a lot in the last year, but it is true. We are all in this together. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day.